The cat and the bear. I never believed in guardian angels, at least not until the night I met Shadow. It was just supposed to be a simple weekend getaway, a cabin tucked into the mountains, nothing but the sound of trees swaying in the wind and a crackling fire. I'd been feeling overwhelmed with work, life and everything, and I needed this break more than I realised. The first few days were peaceful. I'd sip coffee on the porch, watching the birds flutter around the trees, and at night I'd curl up with a book in front of the fireplace. I was completely alone out there, and for the first time in a long time, I felt calm. But that calm didn't last long. One night, just after sunset, I decided to take a quick walk before it got too dark. I followed a small trail behind the cabin, my footsteps quiet on the forest floor. The air was crisp, the kind that wakes you up with every breath. I wandered a little too far, lost in my thoughts, when I heard it, a low, guttural growl. I froze. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw it. A massive, dark shape moving between the trees. A bear. Its eyes glinted in the dim light, and I could hear the sound of its paws crunching leaves as it stepped closer. Panic surged through me. My heart raced and my legs felt like they'd turned to lead. Run. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but I couldn't move. I knew better than to turn my back on a bear, but standing there felt like a death sentence too. And then, out of nowhere, a black cat appeared. It was as if she came from the shadows themselves. This sleek, black cat, her yellow eyes glowing in the fading light. She stepped in front of me, arching her back and hissing, her fur standing on end. I almost laughed at how absurd it was. A cat protecting me from a bear. But what happened next was even more surreal. The bear stopped. It hesitated, its eyes fixed on the cat. For a moment it seemed confused, almost intimidated. The cat didn't back down, standing her ground, growling low in her throat. The bear took a step back, and then, as if deciding it wasn't worth the fight, it turned and lumbered off into the woods, disappearing into the night. I stood there in shock, my breath coming in shallow gasps. I didn't understand it. Why the bear had left, why the cat had stepped in, and why I wasn't torn apart. All I knew was that this little black cat had just saved my life. Shadow, as I later named her, followed me back to the cabin that night. I didn't know where she came from or why she stayed, but she did. Now, she's always by my side, watching, waiting, just like she did that night. Some say black cats are bad luck. I know better. That night, in the darkest moment, Shadow was my guardian angel. She still is.
Thank you for listening today. Stay safe out there.
Join us
In the next video.
and don't get too spooked.